Sup y'all, it's Solo. I want to talk about trail cams today. These are devices that you can put out in the woods. They are waterproof, well, water resistant. I don't think you can put them underwater, but you can put them outdoors in the rain. And what they do is, as something passes by its motion detector, it will either take pictures or take video, or maybe even both, depending on how you set up these cameras. And they are called game cameras. Game as in hunting game, like game animals like deer, pigs, whatever. And that's what they're usually used for, is before hunting season. People will put these cameras out where they expect to see the game that they want to hunt, and they can kind of do a little reconnaissance on them to see how big the deer are, if they notice any patterns of how many are showing up. And it even can double as a good security camera to see if people are wandering around on your property. You know, these things come camouflaged, but there are methods to take like a piece of tree bark and applying it over and attaching it to a tree, and it's, unless you come up to it and see it completely sideways, you would never see that camera. So it's a really cool system, and you can do quite a bit with these. This is the first one I got. This was a hand-me-down from Ryu Lincoln, and it technically works, it functions, but you cannot set the date and time, which is a big problem. There's something wrong with inside the screen where it won't display anything. So you can flip it on here, and there's no batteries, but you can flip it on and it will take pictures and stuff, and or maybe even video. I forgot what we set it to last before the screen broke. But the date and time are going to be wrong, and that's something that's really useful when it comes to looking at game footage of an animal that you're planning on hunting. Is what time are they showing up there on which days? You know, what's the moon cycle like? What's the weather like? And you really need the date and time for that. And you know, if it tells me it's, 4:45 p.m., but it's really, midnight, it's going to be really hard to figure out what time that picture was taken. So I have retired this unit. I can still set it up and just let it take pictures, and if I just want, to see if someone's out there. But if I want more data, I'll use my newer one I bought, my Wasota. This one's made by Bushnell. It's a really common company when it comes to these kind of cameras. And you can see it's waterproof, or it's water resistant seal. So like when you close this box and you seal it, that thing should be protected from all kinds of rain. And this is a little information on how these work. This is an infrared light. So in the pitch black, it can see things with its motion detector being passive infrared, and then it will then flash us like a camera flash, and then the camera will either take a picture or take video, and you can see a pretty good detail when they get up and close to it, like deer and whatever. And either you can mount this via a tripod. It has a tripod mount here. Or you can run a strap through it, like I did with my other camera here. And you just run the strap through, and you put it around the tree, or put it around whatever. And it holds up pretty good. And inside, you put your memory card inside. So this one has a full-sized SD card. Oh, also has USB. So maybe you can download them that way as well, through the USB port. And this appears to be a microphone, so you can hear the game when it's doing video. And my newer one actually does not have a microphone, so this thing's kind of a little better than the one I have in certain ways. And it even has a lock on it, so you could tell someone tried to tamper with it. So someone could find your camera technically, do whatever they want on your property, then sneak up behind it, open up this thing, delete that footage, and then walk away before it activates again, and you'd be none the wiser for the most part that someone was on your property. But if you put a lock through here, they'd have to bust this knob off to open it otherwise, and you know something went wrong. So that's nice. And my new one doesn't have that. So this is my new Wasoda camera, and I've never heard of Wasoda. I think it's just some kind of Chinese Candy Mountain knockoff brand. But it works. I've already used it to capture a bunch of footage of deer and squirrels, and I think a raccoon and a possum and me. I set it up by my bee site to see if any animals were checking out the hives, and luckily they weren't. They've left them alone for the most part. But this camera is much better because now I can set the date and time on it. This thing has a working display. There we go. So it's going to count down to 0, and then it's going to start taking pictures and video, whatever I set it to. You can see how it turned off to conserve the battery. But if anything walks by this thing, it's going to pick up video now. And then I can adjust the date and time with these buttons here. And this ejects the battery pack. I use lithium batteries in this thing. I should eject it just so it doesn't drain it slowly. I don't know if that's a real concern, but I like to kind of keep them ejected. So anyway, this thing has a memory card in it because it is active. I put a 32 gigabyte memory card in this guy. I don't know what it supports up to. Probably around that, or a little less, or a little more maybe. And that one also is USB, so I guess you don't have to pop out the memory card. You can just hook it up to the computer and view them that way. So anyway, this thing is awesome. I can't wait to have my own property to set it up on. In the meantime, I've been setting up on other people's property to see what they see. And we usually see deer. We see a lot of squirrels. A lot of squirrels. Raccoons, possums. I've not caught any pigs yet, but that'd be cool if one day I catch some pigs on video. And yeah, it's really good to have a trail cam. I think this thing is under $50 on Amazon. And they make much nicer ones, like the one with the microphone, like this one. So eventually I'm going to upgrade this thing to one with a microphone, and maybe it has some other cool features. Maybe if I want to get really fancy, I'll get one of those with the mobile cell signal built into it, so it can then email you pictures and updates of when things are captured, which I think would be really cool. But that's an expensive unit. This thing is, like I said, less than $50. So it performs its need. It gives me pretty good video, pretty good pictures. No audio, of course, which kind of sucks. Didn't realize that when I bought it. But it's all good. So you just attach it to the tree. I use the straps here, but again, you have the option to use the tripod mount here. And I really like it. Looking forward to, like I said, to having my own property. Hopefully I can get some really old property that no one's really been out on and capture some really good sights with this thing. See if I can catch some more than just squirrels and deer. Maybe I can catch some turkey or some pigs or some other interesting wildlife. I mean, the forests are filled with wildlife. There's got to be more than just squirrels and deer out there. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video about trail cams. Take care, y'all.